In this video, I'm going to explain what engine braking is and how it can benefit you. Your engine can be used to both accelerate and slow down, but only when the clutch is up or at the bite point. If your clutch is fully down, it won't work because your engine isn't connected to the wheels, and therefore your gas pedal will have no effect on the car's speed. So this is engine braking. I'm in second gear. I'm going to come off the gas and the car starts slowing down. 22, 20, 19. If I press the gas, I'll start accelerating again. That's engine accelerating. Come off the gas and that's engine braking. The car starts slowing itself down. However, if I push the clutch down, the car doesn't speed up or slow down in relation to my gas. I can add gas, the car doesn't go faster. I can come off the gas and the car doesn't go slower. If it does go slower, it's just because of the hill and the friction of the road. It's not the engine making you slower. If you're a downhill, you'd actually speed up with the clutch down. Something else you need to be aware of is that lower gears give you more accelerating and more braking potential. So for example, I'm in second gear now doing about 20 miles an hour, and I'm going to give a lot of gas and see how quickly the numbers go up. So accelerate now, and you see those numbers really go up quite quickly, up to 40, and off the gas, and numbers also drop quite quickly too. That's in second gear. If I now put it into fourth gear and try to do the same thing, so accelerate hard now, not a lot's happening. Finally at 32, come off the gas, and the car doesn't really slow down much. It's going down gradually, but not as quick as it was in second gear. So lower gears give you much more potential to accelerate quickly, but they also give you more potential to slow down more quickly when you come off the gas. To be smooth when going down a gear, you've got to hold the clutch on the bite point. If you come off the clutch, it will be jerky. For example, I'm at 20 miles an hour in third gear now. I'm going to go to second gear and bring the clutch up. I don't know if you saw that on camera, but the car did make quite a noticeable jerk. It sort of did this a bit. If you want to get rid of that, you lift the clutch up until you feel it start to slow down. Once you feel the car start to slow down, hold the clutch still, no higher. And the car will gradually slow down smoothly. Once the car stops slowing down, then you can come fully off the clutch. So I'll go back to third gear now to demonstrate how to do that. So I'm doing a little bit faster, so I'm about 23. Come off the gas, clutch down into second, and I'm going to carefully lift the clutch until I feel it start to slow down. There, it's slowing down now, so I'll hold the clutch steady and the car slows down super smoothly. And now it's not really slowing down much. I can come gradually all the way off the clutch, and that's a smooth way to get to a lower gear to give yourself more engine braking. Quite a handy way to slow down, and what's great now is because my clutch is up, I'm ready to use the gas and accelerate again to get round the problem. It's important to know that you don't have brake lights when you're using engine braking, but it doesn't really matter because you slow down very gradually. You only really need to worry about your brake lights when you're using first gear to slow down, because first gear slows you down very rapidly. And for that reason, I don't recommend using first gear for engine braking. There are two main reasons. The first one is it slows you down harshly and there's no brake lights, as I've just said, but also it puts a lot of wear on your gear synchro mesh. And when that wears out, that's a very expensive replacement. I wouldn't select first gear normally unless I'm under 5 miles an hour. Now, as I've said, I don't like using first gear for engine braking for those reasons, but I'm going to demonstrate it to you anyway and sacrifice a little bit of wear and tear on my car for your benefit. So I'm in third gear doing 20 miles an hour, and I'm going to put it into first gear, which is quite hard because it doesn't want to go into first at this speed. And now I'm going to lift the clutch, and it really slows down quite a lot there. It's gone from, I think it was around 20 miles an hour down to 10 pretty quickly. There's no one behind me, but without warning people with brake lights that I'm going to slow down that quickly could be a little bit dangerous. I'm not saying you can't use first gear above 5 miles an hour. I'm just saying don't select first gear when you're above 5 miles an hour. Once you're already in first gear, you can actually go quite fast for first gear, up to 20, maybe even 30 or 40 miles an hour in some cars if you need to. You probably don't need to most of the time though. But so long as you don't select first gear at a high speed, your gears should be fine. It's obvious why you'd want to use the engine to accelerate. That's how you move the car. But why would you want to use the engine to slow down? Why not just use the brake? Simply because it's easier. Most learners make the mistake of going for the brake and the clutch every time they want to slow down. But that makes driving really complicated because every time you want to slow down, you press the clutch down. That means every time you want to speed back up again, you've got to bring the clutch up, which can be jerky if you try to do it quickly. So the less you need to press the clutch down, the easier it is to keep the car smooth. So this is what it's like to use the brake and clutch every time you want to slow down. Let's say there's a hazard up ahead, I want to slow down. Clutch down and brake. Oh, now I want to go, I've got to bring the clutch to the bite point, add a little bit of gas to make sure it's smooth, and then carry on again. Oh, there's another problem up ahead, so I'm going to go brake and clutch down again at the same time. Oh, it's safe to go again now, so I have to bring the clutch to the bite point, a little bit of gas, and continue again. Oh, another problem, so brake and clutch down at the same time. And now the problem's gone. I'm going to bring the clutch up. Oh, and I stalled the car. Whoopsie daisies. Into first gear and carry on. And that's another problem. We keep going for the clutch every time you see a problem. You slow down without knowing if that gear is necessarily good enough. If your clutch is up and you slow down, you start to get a bit too slow for the gear. The car's going to give you some warning. It's going to grumble like it is now, and I know, oh, I can't go any slower than that in this gear, so I'm going to push the clutch down, and I know I need first. But when I teach people to drive and they go for the clutch every time they want to slow down, quite often they forget to change down to a lower gear after slowing down, and they try to set off again in second, third or fourth gear or whatever it is, because they've got so used to just pushing the clutch down and bringing it up again without thinking about the gear. Yet another reason not to use the clutch unless it's needed. Of course, I'm not saying don't use the brake. If you need to use the brake, use it, but try not to use it. Try to have good planning, look far ahead and see a hazard early. Come off the gas as soon as you see the hazard and the car will start slowing down. Then you can start thinking, do I actually need to add brake, or is this slowing down enough? Should I go down a gear? Maybe if you're in third gear, go to second gear to give you a bit of extra engine braking to hopefully get to the hazard once it's cleared. If you try that, you'll be surprised how often you don't need to brake, how often you arrive at the hazard when it's no longer a hazard and you can just press the gas and continue again, which makes your driving a lot easier and a lot smoother. And it can save you some money, because when you're off the gas and the car is slowing down using engine braking, your car's using precisely 0 fuel. Because when you come off the gas, the car cuts fuel until the engine gets to its minimum speed, and then it will add fuel to prevent you from stalling and pull you along slightly. So the longer you spend slowing down towards a hazard, the longer you're getting for free. You're driving that distance for free. But if you use the gas pedal all the way up to the hazard and then brake, you're only getting a very short little bit of time for free whilst you're slowing down. And if your clutch is down, your car's using fuel anyway. It's only during engine braking that your car is using 0 fuel. If you're practicing without an instructor, make sure you have insurance. Get £20 off via the link in the description to Collingwood, who provides specialist learner insurance that allows you to practice in a friend or family member's car without risking their no claims bonus. If you want to insure your own car, click on the link to confused.com. I have found that they have the widest selection of cheap insurers for young drivers. Well, I hope you find that helpful. If you do, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to get my future videos. Until the next one, cheerio.